Many of you have definitely heard some creepy stories about the terror of all living beings, the glutton, the monster from the river depths, and the Amazon constrictor. All these chilling epithets refer to the anaconda. Welcome to our channel, guys. I can't do that voice this entire video, unfortunately, sorry. But today we're going to try to figure out if the anaconda is really as frightening as it is believed to be. So first off, this snake holds the title of the largest in the world. The adult species reach 6 to 7 meters in length. However, there are individuals 11 to 12 meters long. Can you imagine? That's the height of a 5-story building. Although it is worth noting that such individuals are extremely rare. The Wildlife Conservation Society has recently announced a $50,000 prize payable to anyone who captures an anaconda over 9 meters long. However, it still remains unclaimed. Rumors about snakes 18 to 40 meters long are fake. Anacondas weigh 150 to 250 kilograms. So there are 3 to 4 species of anacondas in the world. They are closely related to boas and pythons. The most famous is the common anaconda. It is also called the giant anaconda, green anaconda, or simply anaconda. Other species, Paraguayan, Benyan, there are little known. Anacondas have all the typical features of the boas. They have a relatively small head and a long and muscular body. Like all members of the anaconda family, they have 2 full-fledged lungs, and not one like other snakes. They have completely preserved pelvic bones, but no hind limbs. The latter are replaced by rudimentary claw-like spurs. But still, anacondas are much more massive than all other snakes. Their bodies are amazingly thick, equal to the girth of the human body. Anacondas have pronounced sexual dimorphism, with females being noticeably larger and thicker than males. An unusual feature of anacondas is the strong foul smell exuded by these snakes. Now, anacondas inhabit only South America, where they are common almost throughout the continent, from the Andes in the west to the Atlantic coast in the east. Anacondas inhabit only warm tropical regions. Anacondas live near water bodies. They inhabit the banks of rivers and swamps and don't go far from the coast. Anacondas live alone. Their population density is so low that it's quite rare to come across one of them. These snakes spend most of their time in the water, either hiding in anticipation of prey or digesting it. They rarely get out on land, only to soak up the sun. Anacondas are excellent swimmers and divers. They can hold their breath underwater for 1 to 1.5 hours and develop speeds up to 25 kilometers per hour. Anacondas even shed their skin in the water. They rub against driftwood to do it. Anacondas lie in wait for their prey near the water or chase it. Then anacondas wrap around the animal, constrict it, and then swallow it. These snakes are non-venomous. One of the anaconda's favorite treats is the capybara, a semi-aquatic herbivore mammal from the Cavinae subfamily. The capybara is the largest rodent on the planet. It can reach over 1 meter in length and weighs up to 60 kilograms. Such prey is big enough to satisfy anaconda's hunger for a long time. So the anaconda slowly creeps up to the grazing capybaras, trying not to make any noise as not to scare them away. A quick attack, and the capybara finds itself in the anaconda's firm grip. The snake coils around the victim and constricts it so hard that the animal cannot breathe and dies of suffocation. So far, there has not been a single known case of escape from the embrace of this snake. Then the anaconda begins to swallow the rodent whole. The anaconda digests large prey for several days, and the supply of nutrients lasts for several months. After swallowing the victim, the anaconda needs to lie down for some time, just like me after Thanksgiving dinner. At such moments, these snakes look especially huge. Now in this footage, we see that people prevented the anaconda from digesting food in peace. Judging by the swollen body, the snake has eaten up something very large. The poor thing did not even manage to dive under the water to hide from the fishermen. People took advantage of this and even dragged a snake by its tail. It is almost impossible to notice an anaconda in the muddy water, among all the algae. From above, the anaconda looks blackish-green with 2 rows of brown blotches on its back. Its belly is a matte light yellow with black spots. It also has similar spots with yellow ochre centers along the sides of the body. This coloring, in combination with the flawless hunting instinct, makes the anaconda extremely dangerous. Now, contrary to many people's beliefs, anacondas are not bloodthirsty. and they do not attack large animals. They usually prey on small rodents, young crocodiles, capybaras, turtles, smaller pythons, and waterfowl. Occasionally, anacondas can attack adult crocodiles, deer, peccaries, tapirs, jaguars, cougars, and sloths swimming across rivers. It happens that these snakes loot villages eating goats, pigs, and calves left unattended. Under no circumstances can anacondas swallow large ungulates, though, like cows or horses. So let's talk about the legends of the Amazonian murderer. Locals like to tell all sorts of stories, while writers and journalists often embellish these tales. You can hear about anacondas attacking people and swallowing them alive, and that even a regiment of soldiers cannot defeat it. The dangers of this snake for people is greatly exaggerated, thankfully. The anaconda is just not interested in this kind of prey. Still, there are several known cases when anacondas did kill people. All human victims of anacondas were away from their settlements and alone at the time of the attack. They probably failed to see the predator. The anaconda can only attack humans by mistake. First of all, human meat is not part of the snake's diet. Having swallowed a human, it regurgitates the victim a while later, which indicates the inability of its stomach to digest this type of meat. Second of all, it turned out that all of these attacks happened in the water, where the anaconda sees poorly, and must have mistaken the poor fellow swimming or standing waist-deep in the river for an animal. It turns out that these stories are greatly exaggerated. What's more, tribes living in the Amazon and Orinoco have hunted anacondas for centuries for their tasty, sweet meat and durable skin, which they used for clothing and handicrafts. Many hunters approach this huge snake one-on-one, armed only with an axe, and often win the fight. It doesn't really look like an invincible monster, does it? So the breeding season for anacondas is April through May. Males find their partner by a trail of pheromones left by the female. Snakes wrap around each other, forming the so-called breeding ball, and can stay in this position for several days. In fact, this is a mating match between the males, when the stronger male tries to displace the weaker one from the ball. Males use their spurs to arouse the female, which often produces a scratching sound. Mating often occurs underwater or near it. The gestation period lasts 6 to 7 months. The species is ovoviviparous. Females usually give birth to live young. Less often, they can lay eggs, from which young anacondas immediately hatch. One female can give birth to 30 to 44 offspring, each of which has a length of 50 to 80 centimeters at birth. Now, anaconda neonates are vulnerable to predators, and even to their parents, because there are known cases of cannibalism among anacondas. Large crocodiles, jaguars, and cougars are potential enemies of the young anacondas. However, those who live to adulthood are guaranteed a quiet life. No animal dares to attack adult anacondas, so they behave in a rather relaxed way. So anacondas live an average of 5 to 6 years in captivity, which is much less than their natural lifespan. The maximum age of the anaconda in captivity was 28 years. Its life expectancy in nature is unknown since it's difficult to monitor them in their inaccessible habitats. Anacondas are a coveted exhibit for many zoos and private collectors. It's prestigious to keep the planet's largest snake in your terrarium, but it's also difficult too. These snakes definitely need water to feel good. The larger the pool, the better. They also need sunny and shady areas. Anacondas often display unusual aggressiveness in captivity. Well, that's all for today. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Let me know in the comments what you learned today. For me, it was how to pronounce ovoviviparous. While you're at it, be sure to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.